Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your October 2017 tarot card reading. So you went first last time, so I'm making sure to get your reading in. You went last time, and so I'm making sure to get your reading in first this time. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I've already meditated on your sign and pulled some cards, so let's just dive right in. Okay, so we have the Crow. And there was another one. I wanted to pull a second one for you as sort of a crossing energy. And we have the zebra. I'm going to read these from the book because you guys like when I do that. And then, of course, give you my own 2 cents. But these are just something to keep in mind as an overarching thematic energy that will sort of carry us through this umbrella energy to keep in mind as we look at the rest of the cards for this October 1st to October 15th window. And also, because I am doing this on the 26th, some of this, the present energy will show up here as well, I'm sure. Okay, so let's start with that. And then I already have, I already shuffled and pulled the cards for you as well. All right, here we go. The Crow. Spiritually strong, creative, watchful. The Crow has long been a symbol of magic. A Crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the Crow holds within its mind's eye the 3 realities, past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with Crow tendencies must balance their life with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When in balance, psychic, strong, clear. When out of balance, ungrounded, hypersensitive. To bring into balance, daily meditation practice. So even as I was meditating on your sign, it wasn't extreme, but I could feel some hypersensitivity. So that's just something to keep in mind since that is coming up. That was a very specific sensation that I took note of. All right, so I'm just going to read the zebra and then I'll give you, my intuitive read of these as well. So zebra. Zebra. Eccentric, creative, visionary. Zebras are the most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well-cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality is not only a delight, but it also opens our minds. Be prepared. This potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your world view while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags. When in balance, worldly, enthusiastic, fashion-forward. When out of balance, jaded, pouty, vain. To bring into balance, an epic adventure, art. So you have some really strong archetypes for you right now. The Crow. Intuition is really strong for you right now, and there's this. It's following that intuitive lead, and I feel many of you are doing that. There is this sense of holding something really close, that you're holding something really close. So this feeling that it's that you're holding something precious, and I feel you're aware of it, and that could be this internal. There's this you're in touch with, and you're becoming in touch with, especially over this time. You're cultivating this gift like a gift of some kind that you're sort of offering forward. It feels like there's something precious that you're sort of holding close. And then there's something about hands. So I'm getting something about the hands. And a lot of this energy here is, I just heard bringing form to the formless. So, and there's a really poised energy. There's this sort of highly receptive nature to the Crow card. And I just heard channeling messages. So I do feel like you're tapping into that receptivity. There's this creative receptivity that you're opening to, that you're really making space for right now, that is really important. And so just continuing to stay open is important. So just right from the get-go, that's sort of what's coming up. With this zebra energy, there is this feeling of, there's such a uniqueness to this card. And there is this feeling of, there's something about, and it feels very active, fire. We have this action forward. And it's this empowering of your own stride, this owning your stripes. So there's this kind of, there's this almost like even empowering your own eccentricities, or exploring your own eccentricities is what I want to say. And that feels like there's a lot of value there. So there's this kind of, this deep desire, and this playful, curious approach to, I just even heard the occult, exploring the occult with both of these cards. All right, so we're going to keep these in mind. So I laid out the Celtic cross today, which is a little different. We have the Father of Cups next to the three, actually, well, these came up together and they're like stuck together. The Three of Pentacles, crossed by the Nine of Cups. Then in the root here, we have the foundation of the reading of the spread. We have the Son of Swords reversed. And then to the left, in the recent past, sort of this incoming, this recent sort of energy that we're moving from, is the Ten of Cups reversed. And then the energy we're coming into here is the Ten of Wands. And then right over top, sort of this crowning the reading, we have the Sun reversed. And this card was wanting to pop out for you as I was shuffling. It was it almost popped out a few times and I saw it. So there's a lot of action, a lot of fire, just immense forward momentum right now. And so then we have, sweeping up the right of the spread, we have the Four of Swords, which represents you and sort of this present energy. And we have in your environment, Judgment reversed. Then we have in your hopes and fears, the Mother of Swords. And then, outcome, or whatever, so what you want to call it, in that position, we have the Ace of Swords reversed. So, let me just tune in here. So I just heard direct avenue of change. I'm noticing, so, in this recent past here with the cups, the Ten of Cups reversed, and the Nine of Cups on the table, and then the Father of Cups, we have a lot of emotional energy that we're moving out of now. It was like almost like heightened emotions, maybe right now or towards the end of September. But there is this change of season, which is appropriate because we're all doing that right now. The equinox just took place. But there is also, it almost feels like this personal change of season within you, sort of moving from water and into to fire and earth primarily. Fire and earth. And it's almost as though in the recent past there was this outpour of emotion. There was this looking to distinguish what's mine and what's yours, what's mine and what's theirs. So this trying to this aim to place things in a particular way, and to make sense of where things go is what I'm hearing. And it feels quite excitable as well. So there was something emotional, but also quite excitable. And with this water energy, I just heard Pisces. So with this water energy, it's almost like simultaneously you're allowing sort of these floodgates to open with a creative endeavor in mind, but along with that is coming perhaps this sensitivity that you're experiencing. So it's you can't just, it's almost you're opening yourself to something completely, to sort of this creative, this sensitivity that is, so it's almost like you're both getting that creative sensitivity, that inspiration that only you can only receive from that state of sort of creative sensitivity. But you're also feeling things extremely that perhaps you might prefer not feel. So there is this kind of maneuvering of that I sort of feel you're moving, you're moving from as we move into October here. And this feels like, I just felt even when I said October for you, it feels so strong, like dense, almost like a dense strength to it. So there's this, again, bringing form into the formless. So there's this solidifying of something. There is this, and it feels so physical. So it's really, truly making something manifest. And then there's immense craftsmanship that sort of whatever it is that you're creating, it's a lot of craftsmanship, a lot of, again, sort of the hands, the element about something about the hands came up. But there is this craftsmanship around whatever it is you're building and creating and investing in and exploring. And I did hear writing for many of you. And I'm noticing on the Three of Pentacles, just the ridge of this mountain. So there is sort of a bit of this this feeling, for some of you coming up around this sort of like walking on edge. And there's a tension there. But especially this fully represents October. And the Father of Cups, it could absolutely represent a person or Scorpio, that sort of Scorpio energy. But most of all, I feel it, and most broadly for many of you, it just feels like this is sort of an archetype representing the October energy of emotional strength, integrity, this manifestation is what it feels like so strongly. It's this, it feels like something about, I just heard the depths, the depths. So there's something about, it's almost like you've been to the depths, or you're taking that, it feels like this rooting and then stretching up. So there's this really strong rooted sensation to this energy, especially partnered with this. It's like root sort of the earth, this mountain, you know, to the depths. But then this this immense receptivity. So lots of manifestation this month. Lots of manifestation for you this month. The Nine of Cups. We're crossed by the Nine of Cups. So carrying us right into the Ten of Wands. So yeah, I just heard stepping over the threshold. And this change of tone, this tonal change in how you're experiencing your day-to-day, I just heard. So it's literally just like, there's almost an internal sort of your life and how you're feeling your life. There's an internal and both an external temperature change in your reality. And that change, again, we're going from water to fire here. So it is sort of, I feel the stakes are a bit higher. And with this 10 energy, this 10 of Wands energy, there is sort of this striving to complete something, this work, this hard work. And sometimes it's hard to see through, and it's almost like your aim is towards clarity. There's this clarifying that's happening, this clarifying, and this unpuzzling, I just heard. But you know, you can sort of see the theme here of there's a lot going on, and there is this refining, and then this seeing through it all, and that's taking place. But it feels ambitious, but very doable, very doable. And although you sort of, you want to see your way through it, again, you know, we have the Ace of Swords reversed. So I feel like it's almost, you know, we're moving from cups, emotional, into this fire and earth. And then it's like it takes us right into that swords, that mental, you know, I just heard mind maze. Like it's a mind maze. And then sort of, you know, then there's almost like this other seasonal change that you're coming into towards the end of October. So these changes and these shifts of tone, these tonal shifts in your environment and your experience, and sort of the progression of whatever it is you're cultivating right now, this is happening quickly. So we're moving from water here into October. We go into earth, into fire, sort of simultaneously. There's a dance going there. And then we have, towards the end of October, I'm seeing another tonal shift into that Virgo mental acuity, that problem solving, that cutting away, that editing, releasing process. So that's taking place. So shifts are really, you're really moving through this cycle very quickly. And, you know, this feels, I want to say medical, but it's not as, hopefully this isn't referring to sort of, you know, medical, really medical. It's more, I think, the point of precision, and it almost feels like medical or scientific in, it feels like what is logical. And there is this, I feel like there is, whatever this is that you're doing, where you're coming from is almost like this scientific, very precise, precision-oriented mindset, very realistic approach. And then there is sort of this this extension, this transcending that and exploring outside of that reality, and sort of now we're diving more into the occult. You're looking at things from another angle, actually from all angles. So there is sort of this holistic, this opening to sort of this, this broader picture. You're widening your lens, is what I'm hearing. But this coming up, it feels like this is pointing directly up, and I feel like, in this second week of October here, it's this precision mind. It's sort of it's harmonizing this logical, this very precise minded, like this skill set that you have. It's applying it to sorting through making sense of what is less tangible, what is beyond the realm of logical thinking. And there is this sense of stepping into the wilderness that I'm getting. So there is sort of, you're stepping into the wilderness. And so this is unknown territory that you're in, it feels. And you're stepping into it willingly. And if not willingly, it feels like it is, whatever this unknown is here, this unknown territory, it feels like it's something that you do find there is a purpose to it. There's something that is, I just heard, deeply desired. There's something that you're sort of, it's exploring those inner realms. It feels, whatever it is that you're exploring externally, whatever sort of this reality that you're looking at right now that perhaps it feels unknown and out of order, I just heard. It's mirroring sort of, it's out of order, but there is this desire to place order, to make order, to create sort of form from formless, order from the orderless, order out of the orderless, order out of chaos. But it doesn't feel like as much chaos as it more is sort of this, there is this like learning and this uncovering of yourself that you're hungry to do, that is taking place in your external world, and making order and understanding of your external world as you are exploring and finding order and resonance and definition of your own internal self as well. So there's this strong reflective energy taking place, like what you see, what is without is also within. So there is this sort of diving deeper, this deep dive into that and exploring that more so over the next couple of weeks. And there's this enlightening, this enlightenment that is taking place. Although I'm feeling, these swords are hanging. It doesn't feel so heavy. It just feels more sharp. So it feels like it's not as much as, this card. There's a feeling that there can sometimes come like there's a lot on your shoulders, and that could be very true. But this feels like there might be a couple things that are sort of, may sort of feel like they're hanging over your head right now, but you're finding peace with it. And I feel like over these few weeks, a lot of that focus is, you know, your intention is to find peace with that. And that stillness, that quiet that you're creating is opening up a lot of profound space for you. And in that space, this creative energy, those channeled messages are able to come in. So you're doing the work you need to really, again, it's sort of, it's following that intuition, that following your own lead, I just heard. So this is a time of really, really major, like it's a majorly empowering time. This is a time of self-empowerment for you on so many different levels. So we have the Judgment card reversed in your environment. The Judgment card reversed, I mean, I feel when we're looking at your environment, I just heard shit can hit the fan. And it doesn't feel, you know, even in the reverse, it doesn't feel like it's going to be, might not be totally crazy. But it's maybe, you know, that hypersensitivity is just sort of in those moments kind of feeling flooded by, I just heard family and friends, and I just heard responsibility. So, so what we're really looking here, and this is something that the zebras can help you with, and this zebra energy is showing up supporting this, is boundaries, 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 boundaries. So I feel like Judgment is really speaking to setting boundaries in your life right now, sort of with your family and friends in particular. And there's this taking time for self. The Mother of Swords and your hopes and fears. So I'm getting this very sort of strong, this very cold energy. So there is this isolated energy that I feel. There is this fear of withdrawing, or even I just heard of being alone, of being lonely. But there is this coolness, there's this detachedness. And that's also something on the hope side of it, you know, something that you're cultivating. So there's this concern sort of as you're setting boundaries, as you're sort of holding your space, there is this consideration of like, you know, will that make me lonely? Will I feel lonely if I set the boundaries I need and take the time I need for myself? You know, or will I feel a sort of a healthy detachment that sets me free? So these are just questions that are perhaps rolling around in your mind of as you're setting those boundaries, as you're sort of feeling called to perhaps follow an instinct or follow sort of an intuitive call or pull. There is, and with this card, there is this sort of, again, that stepping into your power, that really, that finding that balance. You know, there's again, that Libra energy is really coming up strong for you right now. And I call Zebra, the Libra zebra, and, you know, and so, and I'm feeling it strongly we have it with the Mother of Swords as well. So that, and it feels as though like there is sort of striking that balance, finding that balance, which Libra energy is so great at. The Ace of Swords reversed. So there is this completion. I'm you know, looking directly at sort of, it's almost like a jump from here to here. So there is this completion, and again, like I was saying, that changing of seasons, that changing of tides as we move into sort of mid-October. There is this, you're again, you complete sort of one cycle of something, or sort of the beginning of, one push forward, and there's a completion of something, or there is sort of a, and then it's you're up to that next notch. It's like up, you're upping a notch. And now you're looking at it from a different angle, and you're sort of approaching from a different angle and with different tools. This is much more, again, that mind energy. Problem solving, looking for specificity, editing, refining, creating shape, sort of creating this shape. So it's like you're sculpting something. If you're giving form to the formless at this point in time, and then it looks like coming into the last couple of weeks of October and sort of mid-October here, there's this shift into starting to sculpt the form that you've created. So this is a really, really powerful time for you. I hope that this was helpful, and do check out your if this is your sun sign, check out your rising and your moon sign. That's so helpful, and it can just give you some a more holistic reading for you and for your chart. So do check that out, and so you can piece everything together. And please like, subscribe, comment. I love your comments. Your support means so much to me, and you guys have just been so kind, and it means so much. All right, I love you so much. Happy October. I love this month, and this is really, really, really potent energy for you. So, so have a beautiful one. I'll see you soon. Love you.